In today's episode of the Pathwing Presents podcast, I have an interesting guest here with me today. I'm with Sheri, Shiver, and she's heading over as the head of marketing at Lawn Buddy. And Lawn Buddy is a very interesting product and a very interesting market, right? So it's a technology partner for lawn care professionals, and it's basically helping those folks to organize their team, their workflows, their clients, and basically today we want to deep dive into what Lawn Buddy is all about, but also how Sheri is thinking about growth within this particular industry. So welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, yeah. So maybe give us a quick 360 overview. What is Lawn Buddy all about in your own words?
Yeah, so Lawn Buddy is a cross between a SaaS company and a fintech company. So on the SaaS side, we are helping lawn care professionals manage their entire business operations. So from scheduling their jobs, managing their crews, sending out automatic invoices, accepting payments, managing their equipment, everything can be done within the app. Then the fintech side is that we allow them to process payments through our app. So it's really one app that can handle every part of the business for the lawn care professionals, and it saves them a ton of time. It saves them not just time on invoicing and managing their schedules, but it saves time for communicating with their crews, because they can just send their crews the list of jobs they need to go to, optimize the routes so that they're taking the most efficient routes. And then so it also ends up saving them money because they're saving on gas. And as we all know, time is money. So they're saving on that too. And so the results that we've seen when we've recently pulled analytics is that our customers, when they're fully integrated in the product, they're going to 10x their business every year. They're going to get paid 5 times faster. And on average, they're making $20 in tips per job, because we have the ability for their customers to tip them when they pay their invoice.
Nice, very cool. So it seems like a well-rounded efficiency solution, and there to increase revenue ultimately for those folks. You guys are focusing on lawn related businesses. Is there sort of like a certain size that the company needs to have, certain amount of employees, or does it fit like even like a smaller shop versus a larger one with maybe a couple of locations? What do you typically see to be a great fit for Lawn Buddy?
Yeah, so right now we're focusing on small to medium businesses. We are in the works in adding in some features so that we can serve the larger businesses. But right now, I would say we do have the one-man show. It's just one person. And then we also have people who have, 3 to 5 crews that are going out as well. And then soon, probably by next year, end of next year, we'll be able to service the larger, much, much larger companies as well.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. Now, how do these guys learn about Lawn Buddy? Like, what would you say is sort of, the journey that they're going through in order to get in touch or get started? Or in other words, what are the client acquisition channels you guys leverage?
Yeah, so we have our website, obviously, and we have social media. We're doing organic posts, we're doing paid ads, we're doing Google ads, but our number one channel, surprisingly, has been TikTok. I would say vast majority of our customers are converting from TikTok, and we've gotten to the point where our cost per conversion is between like $15 and $20. We've really been able to optimize TikTok. We found our audience on TikTok, and we started just this year in 2022. I believe in January we had 3 TikTok followers, which was probably like the CEO and then the marketing people. And now we're in August and we're at almost 7,000.
Very cool. Yeah. So maybe let's talk a little bit about that, because I think a lot of marketers are not, sort of they talk about it a lot, but they're not as, efficient as you guys are doing it when it comes to B2B. What's the journey then for their use? So you got a TikTok post. What do they move to your website? Do they get in touch with you guys on TikTok? What sort of like best practices that you've seen?
Yeah. So for us, because we are an app, we're a SaaS company, our TikTok ads are leading them to the website, and on the homepage, there's a big register now, and they can register for free. We do have a free option for our product. It's our light subscription. So that's free. And so that's sort of what gets them into our funnel. So once they're on the free version, we can then send them marketing messages on, first of all, how to use the features that they get with the free option. And then we can start focusing on, once they're fully integrated and using it, then we can focus on upselling them into one of the paid subscriptions so that they can get the more sophisticated features.
So how do people, find you guys on TikTok if they're interested to learn a bit more?
Yeah, so our handle is at Get Lawn Buddy. I would say the people that are finding us naturally, it's through our paid ads. We do have some fun organic posts. Our CEO reacts to like crazy lawn videos of like people doing crazy things with their mowers, and we pranked him one time on his birthday, and so we have like fun videos like that. So definitely give us a follow, and we're definitely planning a lot more fun videos as our marketing team is growing and we have the capacity to do that. But I would say most of the time people are finding us because they're using TikTok as a search, which is, I think, a big topic right now in the marketing world, is that we're finding that TikTok is no longer just people mindlessly scrolling when they have a question. Instead of going to Google, they're going to TikTok and they're searching it because they know that they can find a 1 to 3 minute video to answer their questions.
So a very completely different angle that is starting to emerge, where you get quick answers to questions rather than just entertainment. Right? Very interesting.
Correct. Yeah.
Very cool. No, awesome. Now you mentioned the website there. As a marketer, like we always see people, there's always something to improve on the website. There's always some strength. Like, how do you think about the page? Like, what's the major strength of the website versus where do you see room for improvement?
I think there's a lot of places where we can have room for improvement. I think one of our strengths probably is that we don't have too much information on the site. We give them enough to make a decision, to make a buying decision. And I think that's really important not to overwhelm people, because people do get overwhelmed easily. And if you're on a website and you're getting all this information too quickly, it's really easy to just be like, oh, never mind. I'm not going to even deal with this. So I think we give them just the right amount of information for them to make the buying decision. And then once they make that decision to download and to start the free subscription, then we come in with emails. Then we come in with our salespeople will contact them and slowly onboard them and upsell them.
Very cool. Now, in general, because I know you joined like a little while ago with the Lawn Buddy team, maybe, but you've had other marketing or even marketing operation roles prior. Like, what have you learned over the years? You mentioned now sort of the concise messaging. Anything else that you've learned that makes for a website to start to convert well? Is there any methods, approaches, tools that you've picked up over the years that you think are helpful in that regard?
Yeah, I think what's been really successful for me throughout my career is providing those free resources, the ebooks, the case studies, the infographics, whatever it might be, to get people into your funnel, and for those resources to actually be valuable, to actually not just be fluff, but to actually give them actions that they can take that make a quick difference, because that's what builds trust. If they download an ebook and that ebook gives them 3 tips on how to make their business more efficient, and they do one of those tips and they see results, that's instant trust. And so giving people information that they can implement easily, quickly, and see results quickly is going to be essential into building trust. And typically those things are going to be living on your website.
Okay, so we talked a bit about the website. We talked about sort of like free resources that you've been finding. I want to maybe ask one quick follow-up question on this now, because we've seen a lot of marketers actually struggling with having an actual meaningful resource to download, right? Like, is there any, because sometimes they throw out brochures, they throw out, I don't know, case studies sometimes. Is there anything that you learned that you think is important, maybe a couple of questions to ask yourself before you're putting a resource out there? You mentioned it needs to be easy to implement. Maybe give us a quick insight into your thought process there.
Yeah, so typically what I do is I try to search and see what topics are trending, whether it's on social media or via Google searches. Find out what topics are trending, find out what questions your audience is asking, It's also helpful to do market research. So when you're interviewing your existing customers, ask them, hey, what are you struggling with? What do you need? Like, what resource would be helpful to you? All of those things I think can really help you create a full list of ideas, and then make sure that you, when you're creating the resource, that it's, again, not too much information, right? We want like bite size. People have very short attention spans these days. So you can have a list of 10 things, and you can probably cut that up into 20 or 30 different ideas. And so that's a really easy way to find out what content your audience wants, and then have, a year's worth of content that you can create and release, monthly or however often you want.
No, that makes a lot of sense. Now, we talked a lot about Lawn Buddy. We talked about the website. We talked about how you think about growth. I would love to learn a little bit about yourself and your journey as a marketer. I have a couple of rapid fire questions. Are you to get to know you a little bit better? Are you ready for those?
Sure.
What is the last book that you read?
Well, I'm currently reading a book called The One Thing. Actually, my team and I are reading it together and doing a book club. So we meet once a week to discuss the chapters that we read. So that's the book that I'm currently reading, and I've actually read it before, but it was years and years ago. So it's nice to have that refresher, and I definitely recommend it. It's pretty short, very easy read, all about how to prioritize the right actions to get the most results.
Very cool. What's the one single thing that your company is focused on the most at the moment?
I would say our big priority right now is focusing on getting our current customers fully implemented. And the reason we're doing that is because we know that once they're fully implemented, they're going to see results. They're going to 10x their business. They're going to get paid 5 times faster. They're going to get those $20 tips. So that's our big goal, is to get as many of our customers that sign up fully implemented, because we have had this year a massive, like thousands and thousands of new customers. So we really want to focus on getting them fully implemented, fully understanding all the features, and feeling fully comfortable using the app as well.
Very good. If you could change one thing, you would have a magic wand and there's no boundaries in technology, what's the one thing you would change for your role as a marketer today?
What a great question. If I had a magic wand and I could change anything, probably, oh gosh, this is a tough one.
We have a wild card. We can get back to it if you want.
Well, I would say probably if I had a magic wand and could fix anything or change anything, it would probably be our marketing operations, or marketing operations in general. And my last company, all I did was marketing operations, and it really truly is a full-time job to make sure that everything is flowing smoothly, that all of your data is clean, that your customers are not getting too many emails at once or too many emails in a day. And so if I could just have a magic wand and all of that be done, that would be so wonderful, especially data cleanliness. If I just could have a magic wand and like all the data be clean and perfect and legitimate and no duplicates, nothing, that would be amazing.
Very cool. Sheri, I have the very last question for you as we're wrapping it up for today, right? If we would do a little bit of time travel, right? And we go back to the days of Bridgewater, right? If you allow, right? We get all the way back. No, you're heading out of formal education into the world of business. You were a bit in sales related roles. You were obviously in a lot of marketing related roles. Now, what's the one advice you would give yourself for your journey?
The one piece of advice I would give myself is to not try to do too many things at once. I think when I was younger, in my early 20s, and I think a lot of people in their early 20s kind of deal with this as well, is you feel like you need to be working all the time. You need to, quote unquote, pay your dues. You need to do as much and learn as much as possible. And I think we spread ourselves too thin. And I know I certainly did. And so I would tell myself to focus on one skill at a time, focus on one one type of marketing at a time and really fully understand it before moving on to the next one, or before trying to do a million different things at once. Just like really be hyper focused.
Okay. Thanks a lot for being a guest on Platform Prudence.
Thanks so much.